Savage.
Coach Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. I saw you upstairs. Just how special was it to see the Magic Hall of Fame induction ceremony for John Gabriel and Brian Hill, and how happy are you for those guys?
I'm so excited for those guys. It's really hard to explain and put into words as just what they've done. Their stamp on this franchise, and the people that they thanked. You talk about how great the DeVos family is. The players that have come before them. But again, it was such a wonderful thing to see. I'm more than excited for them, and then obviously more than deserving of that.
When you, I guess, reflect on those moments, I guess what comes to mind, especially, I know you mentioned earlier that you have been able to talk with Brian and John just a little bit here and there.
Their wisdom of the game, their wisdom of people. It always came back to, the coaches that were before them, their parents, their friendships that they had, the players that helped them get to where they are, and then obviously their family. That was the biggest thing that they kept coming back to, was the family that has propelled them to do the things that they've done, and obviously the greatness of this organization and what it's done in the period of time that it's been here. I think you can't say enough about them, I think, and what they've done and who they are as men, and what they mean to this organization.
Transitioning into tonight, how did Markelle feel after that last game, making his debut, and will you have sort of the same kind of plan for him tonight?
The plan will stay the same. I think he felt good. I think, and he says it all the time, it's just a blessing to be out there with his brothers. And that's the biggest thing that we're going to continue to see from him. And he was very good in the way he handled it, and then feeling better after coming away from the game.
Coach, this is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Also, in relation to tonight's game, I had asked you back on Monday in terms of or Tuesday, or I think it's Monday, but the benefit of having that sort of the benefit of a rematch. What takeaways did you learn after that game that you're bringing into this game tonight? Well,
I've always looked at it in ways, we've said it this before, that you're never as good as you think you are when you win, and you're never as bad as you are when you lose. And, you have to look at the things that they're going to adjust to and the things that we're going to have to adjust to them doing. There's obviously some things we can correct. We gave up a few open threes, understanding how we needed to cover that early, offensive rebounding situations, and they're going to play with a faster pace this game. So our understanding of getting back in transition is going to be huge for us tonight.
When you look at situations like this, when you play a team, back-to-back games spread across a couple days, do you almost feel like you want to experiment more, try different things out, because this team's obviously going to be more prepared or better prepared to, go against the things that you usually do?
Well, as we're talking about growth of our guys and them getting better and building, I think it's one of those things that you want to see how they adjust to it as well. Because there's going to be a higher level of pressure. They're going to disrupt some things differently. They're, out of timeouts, there'll be some different adjustments. And I want to see how we continue to learn and grow through that as the game goes on.
Jamahl, Malcolm Brogdon is not on the injury report tonight, so he's expected to play. How do you think he'll affect the game, and him and Tyrese Halliburton teaming up in the backcourt?
I think that's such a dynamic duo right there. Their experience, the experience of Malcolm Brogdon, as well as the energy and craftiness of Halliburton. It's going to create some problems out there, and their ability to get to the rim, the spacing of the floor, and they play off of each other well in the games that they've played. So I think it's going to cause it's going to create some different opportunities for us to see how we defend pick and rolls. Obviously, spacing of the floor. Then we got to make sure that we're able to take care of the basketball as well with those two.
Okay, George, questions on Zoom?
Jeremiah Johnson, Pacers TV.
Hey, Coach. I was just curious of what Gary Harris has brought you this season. Now, you've got a young team, but it's always important to have a mix of veterans, and how has he helped lead some of those youngsters?
Gary has been phenomenal for us this year. His leadership, not just only on the court, but off the court, in the locker room, talking to the young guys about things that they see on the court, but also his just ability to stay steady throughout the year, just being able to be consistent, coming off the bench, then starting, and then playing some games, but just being able to be a steady, calming factor out there on the court for us. He's been absolutely great for this team and this locker room.
Christos Saltis, Sport DNA Greece.
Hello, Coach. Hope you're doing well, first of all. How different is the dynamic of the team with the return of Markel, and what do you expect to see from him with Cole Anthony on the floor?
Well, it's different having Kel out there, but he provides that calming presence, that that basketball IQ of being able to find guys in different situations, and his selflessness in the passing. I really think that when he and Cole are out there together, they're going to provide a great spark for one another. Just being able to have two dynamic ball handlers, but also some as well as decision makers.
Anything else for Coach Mosely? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we can start here in the room for Coach. So you know what's coming. Chris, Lance, how are they doing?
Lance is doing well. He's going to play. Chris is going to be out tonight. And I don't know who else. Malcolm's playing. I think he's off the injury report. So, yeah. Chris is, I don't know what the timetable is going to be with him. He could miss a few games. He could miss a couple of games. He could miss a game. I mean, it's hard to say. Toes can be difficult. And so he's getting a lot of treatment. He did go through some things in shoot around today, but we're going to be careful with it.
And obviously having Malcolm back changes things in the backcourt. What is the adjustment like when he hasn't played in a game, or is there really any adjustment you have to make rather than just putting him back in and rolling?
Just put him back in. Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to overcomplicate.
He's the most. He's as experienced as anybody we have on our team. I think he miles with the same number of years in, and he's just got a real good knowledge of what we're doing. The adjustments that we've made since the trade, he's seen those, and it's for him it's easy stuff to adjust to. So it certainly makes a difference when he's out there.
How did you think Markel Fultz affected last game, his first game back in a while? To me, he looked pretty sharp.
He did. Yeah, I thought he played well, and going and missing a year and a half or close to 2 years, whatever it is, and coming back and being able to, go 6 for 10 or whatever he did, or 5 for 10, or, that's he's put a lot of work in, and they've done a good job of bringing him back. So, at some point, he'll be playing more and more. I mean, I don't know if he's. I would assume he's going to be a starter at some point, but I don't know that. I mean, but he was very good in that game, and he'll obviously be looking to build on it tonight.
How is it, as from a coaching perspective and an adjustment perspective, playing the same team back to back, almost like a playoff, playoff form and playoff style?
Yeah, it's good. It's you can really focus in on the last game, and it becomes pretty obvious things you need to do better and things you need to adjust. Yesterday was an off day after our back-to-back, so this morning's shoot-around was an important prep day or hour or whatever it was, and there's some things we need to do better, and so those are the things we'll focus on tonight. We didn't defend very well. We didn't rebound particularly well. We gave up a lot of points in the paint, and we didn't score a lot of points in the paint. So those are some general areas where we need to do a lot better.
Do you find that it's easier to make those adjustments, or easier to learn those lessons, and also do you find that you may want to, in these situations, want to experiment more, just to try different things because you are seeing the same team, back-to-back games?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by experiment, but you definitely want to throw some different things in. And then they'll be doing the same types of things, most likely, and so the adjustments can range from everywhere from personnel adjustments with substitutions, lineup stuff, to strategic things and so on and so forth. So, this is good. It's a good experience.